Welcome to Miracle Network's Wednesday meditation. I'm so glad we're all here together. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to click the subscribe button below to receive updates and notifications. Today we're joined by Lia Steinson, who will lead us in meditation. Then we have 20 minutes of silence, and after that we open it up for sharing. Over to you, Lia.
Thank you, Dan. It's so lovely to be here again. Really nice. I'm just going to change my screen because I've realized I've got the wrong view. So excuse me a sec. Ah, yeah, I've got that right now. Good. So lovely. I think I know everybody here, and it's really, really nice to see you all again. I want to focus today on the words that go with the current review lesson. If you're doing the lessons, the workbook at the moment, you may or may not be doing them right now, and you started on January the 1st, you would be on the reviews, which are beautifully held and cradled by God is but love, and therefore so am I. And that's just got so imprinted in my heart because, we're asked, we do it ideally morning and night and then remember it during the day. And there's several days, I don't know how many, but many days where we're doing that. So that's meant an awful lot to me. And I thought I wanted to share from that place of knowing that we are loved. I'm going to actually begin with an invocation. Some of you may have heard of John O'Donoghue, wonderful, wonderful Irish poet, and very dedicated to music, beauty, love, God. I think you'd call him a Christian mystic. And he wrote this beautiful piece called "Listen to Your Longing," and that's really spoken to me because I think what happens for us is that we have this deep longing to be home, to be one with God, to be one with each other. And we're always reaching to that place. I don't know about you, but I don't very often completely experience that sense of being home, being one with God, being one with everybody. But I know that I long for it. And I wonder if you all have that longing to be really established there in that beautiful place. So this poem really, really speaks to me, and I hope it will to you. And I just invite you to close your eyes. This is so lovely to listen, I think, to these things with one of our main senses closed. So it's called Listen to Your Longing. May you listen to your longing to be free. May the frames of your longing be generous enough for your dreams. May you arise each day with a voice of blessing whispering in your heart. May you find harmony between yourself and this life. May you know the eternal longing that lives at the heart of time. May there be kindness in your gaze when you look within. May you never place walls between the light and yourself. May you allow the wild beauty of the invisible world to gather you, mind you, and embrace you in belonging. Just maybe rest there a moment in that recognition of the longing to not just know the words, God is but love and therefore so am I, but to have that experience of being one with God, being home, one with each other, just one perfect Son of God here now. And when you're ready, just open your eyes, or you can keep them closed if you prefer. When I think about that sentence, God is but love and therefore so am I think about knowing it at a deep level in my being, not just learning words. I think sometimes with the course, we learn what it says, and that's a good start to know what it says, isn't it? But what really, really matters is how do we live it? How do I live those words? God is but love and therefore so am I. And one of the things I can see as part of living, being love, is our capacity to really listen to other people. This world seems to be very, very busy and crazy, doesn't it, sometimes? And everybody's sort of trying to fit everything in. And is there really time to sit quietly and listen to other people? And I think this is one of the greatest gifts of our love, is actually to be able to what's called hold space for another person. So I just want to talk a little bit about that, because there's many ways in which we express being loved. But I think this is one of the most important ones. Instead of advising or judging or fixing or controlling or trying to impact the conclusion or whatever people decide to do about what they're talking about. What if we really concentrated on being love in the way we listen, in being able to give just loving, quiet attention, not thinking about anything when somebody else is talking. It's so easy, isn't it? To when somebody's talking about a problem or an issue, to be thinking about what they should do, what we would do, stories that we've had, books we've read. So there's lots going on often in our heads when we're listening to another person, another part of this, a brother, another part of this perfect Son of God. But it isn't our job to fix them or control them or advise them or anything. What if our job was only to sit quietly and be love? Just say to yourself, God is but love and therefore so am I. And, God could speak. Well, I suppose he could if he wanted to, but what does the Holy Spirit do? What would Jesus do? It's easier to imagine it with Jesus, I think. And we think, what would Jesus do if we were sitting talking to him? We wouldn't be saying, well, you should do this and you should do that and watch this video and listen to that program and this would be the right answer. I can just imagine, Jesus sitting with me somewhere and he would listen. He would just listen. He would love me. He would have nothing, not have an opinion or tell me what to do. He would help me to find my own answers within my being. So I'm feeling that that's very much what I want to focus on, is how to be love when we are with another person, another being, another brother who needs to work through a problem. And if I can be love in that circumstance, then I know that the person I'm listening to will find their own answers. They will have silent moments, so time when they're upset, time when they're cross, and they will gently, quietly work their way through what they're talking about. And all I have to do is be love, which means to listen, to empathize, to feel my loving kindness, to not try to solve anything for them. And I suppose the work that I do, it helps me a lot with this because I do life counselling, many of you would know, and that involves an awful lot of listening, and to be able to listen without telling anybody what they should do about it. So that's really where I'm focusing today. God is but love, and therefore so am I. When I listen to another, when I'm in the presence of somebody who's needing to talk about something, when they want to find answers, when they don't know what to do, can we hold on to our answers that we might have, our opinions, our recommendations? Can we just simply be there and hold that person in our love? So that's really what my focus today. And maybe when we get to the time of sharing afterwards, there might be other questions. This is a big subject, and I'm going to talk about it more on my Tuesday group next week because it's such a big thing. And many of you might be already thinking, do I listen? Really listen? Without judgment, without advice, without ideas, without impacting or having an opinion? And if you don't, this I think is a lovely moment to say, okay, maybe I can deepen my capacity to truly be there for another person, to truly listen without an opinion of any sort. So I hope that that's a little bit of an inspiration for you, and to think about the gift of listening. And just to add, I'm thinking about the giving and receiving teachings in the course. Everything that I give that's a gift of spirit, that's a true gift, is received by me at the same time in equal measure. So I think that's another wonderful aspect of this really listening, being there for another person, is that if I'm really listening, I'm listening with empathy, with kindness, with sympathy, with understanding, with non-judgment. I am getting that. I'm experiencing all those things that I'm giving. So I don't need any words. I need the experience of all those beautiful qualities when I'm in the presence of somebody who needs to be heard and needs me to love and support them. And when I need them to love and support me. So I think if we can all deepen our capacity to be love with another being, with another person, then I think the world will be, as dream world, will be an even more beautiful place. Okay, so I think that's all I'm going to say for now because the time is quite tight. What I'd like to do now, or I'm actually going to do, is I'm going to lead you into meditation so that it sort of starts in a moment when I say real beginning, and just get us into a feeling of being very present. Then I'm going to play a piece of music that's called The Longing. Now, I started with talking about the longing that we all have, the longing to be one, longing to know we're home, to actually not know it in our heads as an idea, but know it as an experience, to know the oneness. And the listening I've talked about is part of that journey. But what I'd like to come back to then is that longing. And this piece of music is called The Longing. The person who composed it, um, and I'll put the details up at the end. The person who composed it obviously knew the longing for God, and he wanted to express that and help us to open our hearts to that longing within ourselves. Once we have that longing really fulsome, blossoming inside us, it really advances our journey. So, if you'd like to close your eyes, I'll just do a little bit of gently leading you into the meditation. So we're starting that now. This is part of it. And then I'll play you the music. When the music starts, obviously I can't gauge the volume that you have. So just be ready with whatever device you're on if you want to put the music up or down to suit you. Okay. So do please close your eyes now. As far as you can, just lift really right up into your back so you're not leaning or slouching at all. Really feeling your body rise. Letting your shoulders go back and down, your chest open. With your feet on the ground, your hands just resting right in your lap. Feeling yourself just gathering yourself in, gathering all your thoughts in, gathering yourself into this moment. Be aware of your breathing. No need to change anything, just observe your breath. You might be aware of the feeling of it on your nostrils. You might be able to follow it down into your lungs and then out again. And notice the rise and fall of your chest. More and more present with every moment. Just soften into your brow and into your eyes. Release any tension in your eyes. More and more coming into the loving space of your heart. Just think of those words. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Now that in a moment the music will come on. Check your volume if you need to. Remember, this is called the longing. Let it awaken the longing in all of our hearts to know ourselves as one with God, one with each other, home in the light. So just maybe say those words to yourself. I'm longing. Aware of the longing in my heart. Just feeling that longing in our hearts. God is but love, and therefore so am I. We long to experience that. We listen to others underneath what they're saying. Is their longing too? We are one. So for the rest of the meditation, just gently coming back to those words again. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I'll call you back at the end gently with my voice. Now gently returning. Take your time, gradually coming back. Look like a stretch. Deep breath. Ah, welcome back. Open your eyes when you're ready.
Okay, if you have a question or a comment for Lia, raise your hand and I'll invite you to take yourself off mute. Norman, take yourself off mute.
Yes, thank you very much, Leah. I'm quite convinced now that nothing will happen to you unless you want it to, especially pain and suffering. But I think it starts at a very, very early age. You know, a young child falls, scrapes his knee or whatever. His mother comes along, kisses it better. He's getting love and attention because of the pain. And I think there's a certain element of that which just remains with people. I'm quite convinced now that if they want love and attention, they'll hurt themselves. But you couldn't tell them that. And you couldn't tell anybody who's not doing the course that. And you couldn't tell top doctors that. There's not, I'm quite convinced there's nothing that can't be healed if the patient wants it. And what you've just said is a pure example of that. And certainly in my own case, the ego is so clever. I say, well, if you drank too much, you know you'll get love and affection. And you know, people say, oh, poor man, and all the rest of it. I said, what about breaking your leg? And because I wanted my leg broke, it got broke, but it got broke worse than I thought. But this was all subconscious. But now I can understand perfectly what was going on. And it just sounds a bit crazy that, you know, to say that everybody in the world is exactly the same, but we are. And it's unfortunate that you can't tell them that straight to their face. You only make it worse. But the fact that now I can accept it and keep it to myself and smile gently at them and give them a silent blessing. And 9 times out of 10, that works better than anything else. Smile and have a conversation and don't mention anything about how they're feeling or anything else. And just by doing that, nothing, just by being kind and gentle, works okay. But as I say, I have to keep my mouth shut and just let them heal themselves, as it were. So thank you very much for reinforcing that idea in me. And we are, as you say, all longing to get home. But some of us might not realise, you know, that love and affection we're after from human beings is deeper. We just want all the get home to God, where everything is pure love. But thanks a million for bringing that up for my own sake. I'm selfish that way. Thank you.
Thank you, Norman. Yes, I think it's such a wonderful thing to know that the love that we express, the unconditional, the divine love, doesn't actually need any words anyway. You don't need to convince anybody of anything. I think just being love is enough. Well, it's huge. When I say it's enough, it sounds like it might not be very much, but it's vast, isn't it? If we are completely centered in being unconditional love, and that word is really important because I think sometimes the word love is used for worldly stuff that isn't love at all. It's about needing and wanting other people to fulfill our needs. Where real love doesn't ask for anything, does it? It simply expresses through us. So being love is the most wonderful thing we can do. And I think people feel it, even if you've no notion, they're not telling you. People feel it when we're being loved, don't they? Something shifts, something happens, it goes deep into their being. Thank you.
Thank you.
Who'd like to share? Dennis, take yourself off mute.
Just these are two quotes, and they resonated with me. The real meaning of love is kindness in action, because you can't misconstrue that. And the other quote, it was, love is the most frustrating of all emotions, because once you find it, there's no words to describe it.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Yes, it's hard to describe love, isn't it? It's beyond our ordinary everyday understanding. But we can experience it, can't we? That's the key thing, is experiencing the fullness of the heart, your whole being, kind of vibrating with that love. We can feel it, we can give it. And so maybe it doesn't matter if we can't describe it, we know it, don't we? Does anybody here not know what that love is? You know, even if it comes and goes. Does anybody say, no, I don't know that one? We do, don't we? Hmm. Did people enjoy the music? Could you feel that longing when you listen to the music? Yeah, that's so wonderful for me. I've always been very involved with this kind of music because I've noticed that it invokes the feelings, the experiences again, wordlessly, of what really, really matters for me. And this lovely man, John O'Donoghue, I mean, he died quite young when his body went. Quite young. I'm just going to read you another little bit of his, if you don't mind, because it really encapsulates the way music works. The dream of silence is music. The most beautiful gift we humans have brought to the world is music. It is distilled feelings that take you home to your essence, home to God. Music can reach deep inside you and blow your heart wide open. It is a vibration that goes straight to your heart and awakens your love in a way that nothing else can. Isn't that gorgeous? He really was. He's a wonderful way with words. There's lots of his stuff on YouTube if you wanted to look at it, and it goes so beautifully with the course.
Okay, Dennis, and then Jen.
Another quote for you. If music be the food of love, play on, play on. Yeah. And that was Gertrude Stein.
Yes, food of love. That's, yes, lovely, isn't it? Because it's hard sometimes, isn't it, to get from your head to your heart. Yeah, to actually, you know, we might have been studying the course for many, many years. But when we're studying, it's in our heads, isn't it? We're learning what it says. You know, and then sometimes we can get all excited because I now know what this lesson says and what the teachings are about this, that, and the other. But are we living it? Is our every moment, our being, the way we speak, the way we move, the way we act, does it show what we're learning? So this is hard sometimes for us. But music, I'm not talking about general pop music. It can be fun. I'm talking about the kind of music I played. It's like so awakening in the being. Does anybody know this beautiful piece by Thomas Tallis called Spem Alium? It's about 12 minutes long. Yeah, a lot of you are nodding. Oh my God, it's so wonderful. You can just lie down, because so often we put music on in the background, don't we? With this kind of music, it's not for the background. It's for us to completely surrender to and let it awaken the love in our hearts. Sperminalium has, I think it's like 100 voices. And originally, Thomas Tallis arranged them in the form of a cross. So they're singing to God, the awakening of the heart. And it's just totally divine music. So I encourage you to find that too, because that's what moves me. It's a feeling I don't want to just know what the course says. That's not really, really going to get me there. It's the awakening of the love in my heart, that fulsome, expressive, overflowing love that goes everywhere. That's what I want. And I'm sure you do too. Jan, I think Jan wanted to say something. Jan, I just realised.
Yes, good morning. Lovely to see you, Leah. Couple of years, you've taken me back to Thomas Tallis. I haven't heard that, listened to that for such a long time. It's so beautiful. But also I was thinking of other chanting, you know, in the East, they're so good at, you know, sort of celebrating God, their godness, aren't they, with chanting and dancing, and it's beautiful. And it's so reverent too, so takes you into it. But what I was going to say was a couple of things. I was just remembering on a retreat, one of your retreats many, many years ago, and you did this exercise. We were sort of walking around, and it was sort of, we were saying, I love you, just walking around to other people in the group, because I am love. And at first, it was sort of, I love you, you know, Jan, little Jan here, loves you because I am love. But then it transcended into something different, and the sort of littleness of the ego person was there. And we were just going around recognizing that it was impossible to do anything else but to love, because that was coming through us. So I was remembering that. It's lovely. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, yes. That was lovely. Nice to be reminded. I must do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Jan.
Thank you.
Okay, Vivian, take yourself off mute.
Hello. Spem and Allium, I have sung that several times, and it is quite amazing to sing. Very deeply spiritual thing. But what I was going to say, in the 90s, I stayed with the Course in Miracles community in the Endeavor Academy in Wisconsin, spent many weeks there. And one day I was going into the meditation room and somebody was playing, or the music that was playing as we went in was Gabriel's oboe. That oboe sound just hit my heart and I just danced. I've never done anything like that in my life. It just really filled me with joy, the sound of that wonderful oboe. And just the power of music and love. And other people were astonished because I was there from the UK and was being quite quiet and quite reserved. And suddenly there was this explosion of joy. So just to say, the power of music is wonderful at opening the heart and our sense of love and appreciation of the beauty and God.
Oh, lovely, Vivian. That's beautiful. I'm going to devote one of my Tuesday evenings soon to sharing, for everybody sharing their piece of the piece of music they know to be the most uplifting, the most filled with love, the most illuminating. I think that will be lovely. A whole hour of this glorious music of the heart. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, who'd like to share? Dennis?
For me, it was always Mozart. And they asked him where it came from, and he said it was just my job to write it down.
Yes, that's I always thought that. I don't know if the film did anybody see the film years ago, Amadeus? I mean, obviously loads of that was made up stuff to make it a great film, but I think there's an essence of truth in there somewhere that he, as you say, he recognized that he wasn't just writing this music out of his head. Nobody could have done, could they? He was transcribing, he was channeling the most extraordinary music. Yeah. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. You're just writing it down. And he had to write really fast, I think, because it just poured
What
through him.
what made me laugh is that they wouldn't give him the last rites
Oh, really?
because he was a Freemason to earn money to pay his bills, and they wouldn't give him the last rites. And he went and wrote the holiest of holy piece of music, his Requiem, which was wow.
Yes. The Requiem Mass is extraordinary. Yeah. Oh, let's all listen to more divine music. Let's go for it. Thank you.
Okay, we come to the end of our time together. Take yourself off mute. Show your appreciation to Leah. Leah, that was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Leah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Leah.
Thank you, Leah. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you, Leah. That was